Hello and welcome to Help I Need an Adult. We're here at Fogwater Studios with my co-host Megan,
Hello.
Mixmaster Chef,
What's up?
myself Matthew, hello, and our extra special guest Jalen Jones.
What's going on?
Jones. We were just discussing Trash Day and how important it is for you to show people in your community that you are responsible. Right, Megan?
Take that trash out. If you don't do it, you don't know who's looking at you. You don't know who's paying attention. We were late on our trash one day, right before the garbage people pulled up. And we realized that nobody else had put their trash can out because we had not put our trash can out. Because usually I do it every Monday at like Matt said, like at lunchtime.
Right.
And everybody sees me do it. And so then they take theirs out. And I realized
So you're the neighborhood trash
I'm
consigliere.
the trash queen.
The trash
queen.
yeah. And Jalen, which was pretty smart, said you should put out a tip jar.
Yes.
Should.
And just right, like we know you're only putting your trash
I
out
just
because we're
need-
putting it out.
all
I
really-
just watched
I don't
you
even need a tip. I just need a best neighbor award.
Award.
like a trophy,
A badge
like
or
a small
something.
trophy,
Yeah.
Every time I walk around the neighborhood. best
Trash
neighbor.
Yeah.
queen.
like
TQ.
a brooch, like
That's
maybe a
right.
little brooch.
Oh,
You know, have a little trash can
That's
brooch.
right.
You know, like a lapel.
That's right.
Yep.
And
Maybe
just,
they'll hire me at Waste Management now.
it
I
doesn't-
know. I'm
Can I say
saying.
that? Can I say brand names? Is that?
I
is that good?
guess, yeah. Matt will just
Yeah.
bleep it out. I think
Bleep
if
out.
it's
If
Okay.
if he can do that. I don't know if he can do that now, but we'll figure it out.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
Alright.
We'll Google it. Okay, we'll Google it.
Jalen, what were
Anything's
you saying
possible.
about a tip jar?
So pretty much, you just leave the tip jar out, and every time you take out the trash, everybody else sees, and you're like, you know what? She did such a great job. Here's like a quarter, a
That's
nickel.
right.
Like it adds up.
Like they're gonna
every-
see the tip jar.
They have
They're not
to.
gonna. They're gonna be like, "Why is there a jar on top of her trash can? Why didn't she put it in her
In the
trash,
trash.
can?" And then they're gonna come over there and look at it, and it'll say, "Tips are welcome." And then they're gonna be like, "Oh shit,
You
Yeah,
Need, you need
we-
to reward your best neighbor.
that's right."
We
And there's
actually-
there. I bet there's a neighbor like that.
Oh, but there
I'm
might be. I don't
definitely
know.
not that neighbor.
Your neighbors probably look to you for something.
No,
You don't think
like
so?
cutting the grass or like what
I-
else do you do?
we have one neighbor that's like, they have a boat parked in their yard, like a pontoon boat,
Uh-huh.
and like, I feel like they don't give a shit about their lawn at all, because like it's just like it's like this tall, like the weeds are this tall, like they don't grow any taller, right? They're a foot tall,
Uh-huh.
but they never cut it, so it's just like weeds that are a foot tall permanently in their yard. And so like I gauge, like I'm like, okay, my lawn's not that tall yet, so I'm okay.
But as soon as it get there.
But soon as it's like close, I'm like looking, like I'm like looking at my
Side by
lawn,
side
looking at,
comparison.
yeah, I'm like, shit, it's getting close,
we have 4-foot tall weeds in the back.
We do.
bro.
I mean,
There,
that's in the bag.
I
That's
swear,
fine.
that's funny you say that because we have a guy who lives in our neighborhood, and his front lawn is like immaculate. He even got like his driveway redone, and it looks beautiful, right? But then his backyard is gated, but you can like the gates kind of like the wood is kind of fucked up a little bit.
So
in
you
some
can see
places.
like inside, you can peep.
It's like 6 foot tall fucking weeds, bro. Like it's like like the Amazon jungle has come to his backyard and just
Bruh.
small section. We're here. We claim this.
That's such a facade.
Like-
Like,
Like, I feel like a tribe of Indians could live in his backyard.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, like
Oh,
an
look at that, dude.
unheard.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So about the IT stuff, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to chat, and so are you.
Right.
And you said your dad went to
You
chat,
did.
and which is awesome because you're never too old to go to school,
That I
right?
agree with that.
That's
And you
fair.
can learn anything. And I bet you can find all the information you needed for that A+ anyway on the internet.
For real though.
The class he's talking about, like, it's literally like it's only I think it's like 4 classes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really small, but I'm like I'm only taking like 3 or 4 classes in computer and electrical and computer engineering.
Right, right.
But I'm just like, I don't know if I should just stop and like just go for that,
Okay, okay.
or if I
just
should keep
going what
going
you're doing.
and then take it. Because like I asked a guy and he was like, well, think about it this way. He was like, think about, if you're an IT guy, you will hopefully know the software side of it. But what if you also know the hardware side of it?
Right.
And he was like, you might be more valuable because they have people who know the hardware, then they have people who know the software.
He's like, I know both.
I know both. So you could, maybe you'd be more valuable. They pay you more money. And I was like, yeah, but that's a lot of fucking schooling. I got to finish though.
That is.
When I could just stop.
How many more classes do you have?
Oh my God. A total, I'm at like 20 something credits and I need 60.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you still got like a good bit to go.
I'm classified as a freshman still.
Right,
like,
right.
I looked at that and I just felt horrible instantly. Like I was like, Jesus, I suck, man.
No,
I'm a
man,
freshman. I've been going to school for like.
You keep going to school and you keep trying to better yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. How long have you been in school?
Yeah, how
I
long
mean,
have you
I
been in
literally,
school?
I've been in school since I was like, I guess like, 18. Since I was like 18.
How old are you now?
I'm 25.
Okay, okay, good. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, don't feel bad at all.
Literally, it's been
man.
like the same for me. Like,
no,
it's like a 2-year degree. They're like, yeah, it should only take you 2 years, and it's like 5.5 years later. I'm like,
I'm getting there.
more like an 8-year degree, maybe.
Right. But it's like as long as you do it, as long as you keep up with it, then,
right?
Yeah, that's the. As long as you finish the goal, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
I tell you what, I'm taking algebra right now, and like,
can I wait? Question: can I cuss at all?
Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, bet. Okay. Yeah. No. Fuck algebra. Like,
right?
For real. Like,
dude, I got an online class, and I'm like, I'm looking at some of these problems, and I'm like,
don't do it.
What the hell does this have to do?
I'm telling you right now, anything math related, do not take an online class for. I take they make me take accounting for the computer programming. I don't know why, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna do it online. It's fine. Terrible fucking idea. Like, I get through like the first like month, I'm like, okay, this is decent. And then literally the second month, they're like, that one problem that takes you like 3 hours to do. It's just because there's so many numbers. It's not even like hard. It's just busy work and numbers. And then I look at it, I'm just like, you know what? Drop. Like, I'm not doing this today.
How many maths do you need for the computer stuff?
Literally, like, so I've already finished most of my math stuff. So I went to Georgia State initially.
Yeah.
So like all my like core stuff I got done. It's literally just that accounting class that I had yet. Yeah. It's literally just accounting.
Did you have to take trig?
No, I did not have to take trig.
I got to take trig, man. I guess it's because of the electrical.
It's because of
engineering.
electrical. Yeah. Have fun with that.
Yeah. I'm like, dude,
that's so hard.
I'm like, if this is as bad as algebra or worse, this is not going to happen. It's not going to work out.
I think, trigonometry's, I decided to take algebra 3 instead of trig because I heard trig was so hard.
Yeah.
Well, fucking algebra is awful.
Yeah.
And I feel like an idiot for saying it, but like, it's like, I just don't understand some of these problems, man. They're like, and I feel retarded because like, I'm just like, should I know this? Like, is this like, is there like a 12-year-old that's like, how do you not know how to do this?
Unfortunately, yes, there is.
Yes,
Somewhere there's a 12-year-old just like, bro.
Like, I'm imagining like a kid, because some of the guys that I work with take their kids to school.
Right.
To work.
Yeah.
And like on my breaks and stuff, I'll do my homework. And I have like this awful fear of like one of their kids coming in and like,
figuring out
the
your
answer
math,
is 52 over 30. And I'm like, how the hell did you just do that?
Like in your head.
They're like, oh, you just do it in your head and you carry this and then you mix these together. And I'm just like, whoa, slow down. Speak slower so I can understand what is going on.
I worry about that when the kids get older and that's the kind of math homework they bring home.
Yeah, you're going to they're going to be like, Mommy, can you help me? And you're like, no.
Like at all.
Absolutely not. I have no idea what's going on here. This is scribble on paper, basically.
See, I'm going to be like Googling like how to do this problem or like algebra calculator.
Yeah.
And like for my kid, and I'm like, oh, it's this answer. And they're like, oh, Dad, how did you know that? And I'm like, I'm just good, man. That's
all me.
All me. all
talent.
Dad. And then he'll slowly learn like you're a cheating bastard.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
there's plenty of resources online. I mean,
that's true.
That's true. Literally, you can learn anything online
I
nowadays. It's just you got to do
you have to do the work and you have to find it. And I think, honestly, I mean, we're just all, you want something instantaneously almost.
Yeah.
And I think that's
That's really the
That's
problem.
a
with most
problem
of
with
it.
a lot. I would say that even for myself. Like if I don't know this, I don't want to do all the work. I'm too lazy.
Right. Like I'm with you.
It's easier to be lazy online too, because you're like, oh, I got 30 days to finish this,
Yeah.
and then like 12 days later, you're like, I got 20.
See, that's
18
the algebra,
days.
bro.
I got 18 days. I got 18 days to
18
finish
days.
this, and you're like, oh shit, I got to do all this homework in 5 days, or I'm gonna fail. You're
And
like
then-
freaking
That is
out.
the one problem with online classes, though, because it's like if you're not like on top of your game, like time just escapes you
You will fall behind, dude.
instantly.
It's happened to me too.
Yeah,
You're like 10 days left, and you got like 20 days worth of work
to do. Right.
You're like, shh, what?
And And see, here's like my issue is so when I go to classes, I pass A every time. Beautiful. Because it's like even if I don't like do the extra work outside of class, I'm still retaining that information there, just being there.
And you have the teacher to kind of like
Right.
physically or like speak to you, and you can ask them like, hey, and they'll come show you. Is
Exactly.
that what it is?
Yeah. But like as soon as you're online, it's just like you're literally teaching yourself. Like even though they have like the stuff to like read over or whatever,
Yeah.
it's just like if you're not self-motivated to constantly like get on there and like
Right.
read and check up on all the information, like it's just not gonna work out for you.
You feel like a classroom is more accountable, like a teacher.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And maybe have the peers around you. Is
Yeah,
that part
because
of it too?
because then you get to talk to other people, and then
Yeah.
of course you like most of the times they want to either study together, or if they're like a big test or project, like like let's just chill and let's do this together. And it's like okay,
Plus, you're
and
being social, yeah.
and then you're getting social.
Well, I mean, could you meet up with other people that you're taking
You
a
could.
online
You
class
can,
with?
yeah.
And
But
try to do the same thing, or do you think it's just harder to get people to do that?
I think it is
It's a
harder
whole
because
lot,
they
yeah.
probably took that online class so they don't have to go anywhere.
Exactly.
Well, I
yeah.
know my sister-in-law is taking classes at Chat too,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a sociology project. I think that's what she said. And she said even though they all had class together, they still had the hardest time getting all those people to come together because they had to have some kind of dinner together or something, and everybody had to bring
They're like,
something
"We
from
need
a
to-
different culture.
We need to have a
Oh.
discussion.
And she said it was just really hard to get everybody
Together?
involved and
Yeah.
do the right thing. And I was like, that just sounds like something you'd struggle with in high school too, though. Like,
Oh,
just
for real?
struggle
Yeah.
for the same
Struggle's real.
for the same issue. Like, y'all are all adults. Why can't you just
Just meet up.
make
like,
some hot
Get your shit
dogs?
together.
Just
Like, literally.
Adults, just
Yeah,
adults,
just
and talk
adults.
to people.
together. Come on, you can do it.
I think it's
And actually, the one that they had the hardest time with was like the oldest person in their class, like just an
For
older
real?
man that he just was like, "This is stupid. And I don't want to do it." Like sometimes
I
you're like,
just want to finish
yeah, you're
this
just
class.
like, just do it.
She's
Just
like,
do it.
This is our project together. It's our whole grade. Everybody is graded.
Right.
It's
It's just
like
like
and I told her, I said, it just doesn't seem fair. Like if you do the work and this person in your group's not doing the work, then how
I mean,
can-
the reason why they do that is because it's like when you get those certain jobs where you have group projects and it's just like
You have to be able to be social with people.
yeah. So it makes sense. It's just people just suck sometimes.
Oh,
That's
I
just
agree.
it.
I
That's
agree.
And
right.
like
Yeah, it's a high majority. Plus the online thing, to put another note in, I think what sucks about that is you go online to try to like, you're like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and do this, right? And I'm gonna
Mhm.
go online, and then you see something online, and then you're
Right.
like, well, what is that?
You're
and then you go to
easily
YouTube,
distracted.
and then you're like, then you just go down a rabbit hole, and then 6 hours have passed, and you've been watching YouTube videos
Yep.
about like rabbit football or some weird crap like that, or like you're watching music videos for like 6 hours, and then you realize, what the fuck just
Where
happened?
have I been?
Like,
exactly.
what was that? What did I get on the computer for? You don't even remember that you were working
You
on your
don't.
homework.
I mean, like I know. Even sometimes when I'm just walking and I'll turn a YouTube video on
Mm-hmm.
and I'll see, oh look, that is connected to this video that I just watched, and it's like I'm not finished watching this video, but this one looks so much more interesting. Let me. And like you said, you go down that rabbit hole like Alice did, and there's just so much information. It's like an information
the internet
overload.
is literally it's like the greatest and
And
the worst thing.
Yeah.
It's
Mixed
you're
together,
literally
yeah.
right on the ball.
Yeah.
It's awesome and shitty at the same
Same
time.
time.
A shitty or
A shitty.
shawsome. I don't know.
I
Could
think
be
like the
both.
second one. Yeah.
Oh, so you are in a Pokemon tournament league, right?
yeah.
Speaking, I was actually watching. I've been watching some YouTube videos on this shit.
Oh,
and It looks
really?
serious, dude. Like,
No, it's bro.
These guys like
It's crazy.
they're like I'm like seeing them flip through these cards.
Oh yeah, they're just
and
like,
they're like and I'm like, Jesus, bro. Like they flipped through them 4 times, and I'm like, damn, they really are making sure they don't have a card to play here.
Yeah, man. Like people make careers out of this thing. It's crazy. Like it was crazy for like the first time I got into it because like I played Pokemon as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was just like, after I think it was like my sophomore year in college, I was just like going through a Walmart and I saw Pokemon cards. Like, oh shit, they still make these. So like I bought some.
Yeah.
And then like I was on like Pokemon.com and there was like this little league. So like the league is like when like all the players get together, you know, they just have fun and play.
Is it like people that live around you?
Yeah, it's like people. Yeah, like so I go to a shop called Win Condition in Kennesaw.
Yeah.
And then literally like 20, 30 odd people will come. We'll all just play together.
Really?
Yeah, and we'll just play test. And what really got those are my homies.
Are those guys from people from your league?
Yep. Yeah. Dennis. I know his name with the face.
the guy to the left.
But he's my friend too. I swear to God. But yeah, those are my homies.
It looks like a game shop that I would go to. Like,
yeah.
With it's got the paint, figurines.
Yep. They have everything, man.
Yep.
And like, yeah, this was actually the other day. We're at a league challenge, because we got to play in certain tournaments to get points to
get to other tournaments, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
I got you.
Mhm.
So it's like brackets. You go to
It's
different
literally
brackets.
brackets. Yeah.
And how far have you guys been?
We've made it all the way to the end, and
Wow.
yeah.
Really, dude?
Yeah, it was my second year's. So the whole goal of winning all these tournaments is to make it to the Worlds tournament, which I
Right.
was in. I think a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
So you were playing for people all around the world.
literally. Like I played a dude from Norway, played a dude from Japan.
Where do you play it at though? Like, if it's
They-
a world thing, you know, like where do they have certain places that you go to play them?
So they usually pick a designated spot. So this year was in DC. Last year was in Nashville. The next year, like the tournament coming up is going to be in London. So then we'll be going to London.
Are you?
So
Dude, that's crazy,
right,
man.
right.
You get to travel and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
And how big are? I mean, like, how many people are going to these events?
Yeah.
So,
It's got.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
The views on the videos that I was watching, and these weren't even like world tournaments. They were just like, I guess, national.
yeah, like nationals. Yeah,
There was like 3 million views on these YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm
man.
Like,
Like,
holy
people-
shit,
and
man.
they're watching it. Like people are diehard. Well, people are diehard crazy Pokemon fans.
Oh yeah.
For one.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's just
I
like
know. I always enjoyed it because I remember I still have it. My brother gave it to me. I have a Game Boy with the old Pokemon Red in it.
yeah,
And that was
yeah.
like the first one that ever came out. And I played it and I went through the whole game when he gave it to me. This was like last year. And I was like, that is fun. And we bought the game for the girls too. So we play on the
Aw.
Switch. And they love it, but I'll play it more than they do. And they're like, "Oh, how do you know all this stuff?" I was like,
It's like I was bred for this.
this was the way I was raised.
See, I got out of I got into it for a little bit, and then all I remember was there was a Pokemon named Mew.
Yep.
And that was like the new Pokemon. That was like
the new you know
what I
that was
mean?
like the very first.
they were like, whoa, people were like, whoa, who the hell? What is this
What
thing?
is
Like,
this?
and that was when I kind of got it out. And then I started seeing at the game shop, these guys would come and play what you're talking about, the
Yep.
brackets and stuff.
Mhm.
And like these motherfuckers were like serious. Like,
oh no, they
I was like, Jesus, I was like, damn, this is a
It's a-
game, but these guys are taking
they
this
take
shit
it.
seriously, dude.
like my good friend, like my friend Connor. So there's a race called like the top 16 race.
Yeah.
And because it's like our points stack, and if you get usually the top 16, they give you stipends to like go to these tournaments and everything.
Really?
Yeah. So like he got practically a free trip to go to DC. They'll pay him like, I don't know, XO amount of dollars just depending on where it is. And like but they'll do that throughout the year. So like my friend Hunter, who's on my team,
Yeah.
he got a stipend, I think, to go, I want to say to Brazil or somewhere.
Wow.
Holy
That's
yeah.
so cool.
It's ridiculous. And like
It's crazy, man.
I never thought you can make money off a children's card game.
It's
but-
awesome. Yeah, no, that's
You
what I'm
could.
saying. It's awesome that you can, as an adult, you can make money
Yeah.
and actually like travel to these places. Like, even if you don't make money, you can go to these places and meet these cool people that are in the
exactly
same
like
thing that you
I
were
met
in.
some
And
really
you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, yeah.
Right.
And
you're
like
having
Pokemon
fun.
people, they party. Like they party.
bro, listen.
So
If you've been to Dragon Con,
I was just at Dragon Con last night.
I was gonna say it's this weekend, isn't it?
Yes.
And that was dangerous, man.
That's nerds know how to party, dude.
Yes,
For real.
Like
you think these like rock and rollers like know how to party?
no, nerds
bro.
know how to
You
party.
go to a Dragon Con and walk around at 2 a.m.
Yep.
You will see some shit, like some crazy shit, man.
I literally woke up drunk this morning before work. It was so bad, like, because like, my friends were like, "You gotta come to Dragon," because like I've never been.
Did you get a hotel room there?
My friend had a hotel room,
Oh,
so yeah, he
shit,
told me just like he was like, "You can sleep over, whatever." And I was just like, I got work at 8 in the morning, but I was like, you know what? I'll just come have a drink, just chill, just
Nope.
to see. No, it was a terrible idea.
Yep.
He was just like, I got there. He was like, "You're drinking this." I'm like, all right, cool. So I drank one. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna drink another one. And then I was like, you know what? What'd you put in there? And he was like, oh yeah, man. You know, I just had Everclear and all. And I was just like,
Oh, did you just say Everclear?
exactly. And I'm just like,
Like, wait a minute. You mean Everclear like the 120 proof Everclear, right? Yeah, man. Oh,
oh,
Jesus.
shit. And instantly I knew I was like, okay, I know how tonight's gonna
Yeah,
be.
you're like, oh, I'm committed. That's, you know what I mean? You're just like, yep, I've already drank 2 drinks of that. That's,
And
how many shots you put in there? 4? Oh, shit.
like, oh, like they're trying to get me to come out there tonight, which I probably will because I don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Yeah, if you don't have anything to do, you should, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I stayed with my buddy. Me and my wife stayed with a buddy of mine, and I think the hotel rooms are extremely expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but we paid like $200 to stay 3 nights.
Oh, that's
So it's
lovely.
not that bad.
Yeah.
Like people probably like, what the hell? You shared a room with people for $200? But no, Dragon Con,
Yeah.
the hotels are like 1,000 plus.
Oh, they tax it up because
Yeah.
they know.
But
and
dude,
people
we
are
were
gonna come.
walking around and like there's people in dragon costumes, like with like a lady. She was in like a Xena warrior outfit,
Yep.
and she was dragging a guy by a chain in a dragon outfit around. And I'm just like, I love this place.
I love
man.
instantly. It's
I
just like
fucking
this is great.
love this place, dude. I'm walking around in my Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit with my lightsaber and shit,
Oh, bro.
drunk and like just lightsaber battling like a fake fucking person, you know?
Right. Just,
And then I ran into a guy who was dressed up as like a Sith, right? And we just
Oh,
like
so it was
locked
on.
eyes, and we were just like, I know he was wasted, man, and I was wasted, and we just like looked at each other and we were like, and we nodded and we just fucking started
just go at it.
fucking going at it, dude, and like beating the shit out of each other with our lightsabers, and then and it was just fucking awesome, man. Like I
Matt,
had
look
so
how much
much
we're
fun.
missing. I've been asking you every year. Let's
You
go
need
to
to
the
go.
parade
You
at
need to-
least.
This is the thing, though.
Oh.
Do not, if you're gonna go, wait till a month from now and buy your tickets.
Yeah.
Don't buy your tickets like a month or two before Dragon Con because you can literally get a 4-day pass for like $70, I think,
Right.
like after.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
And-
mean, I'm not sure about all the partying. I just wanted to see the
But
parade.
here-
Oh, it's like I just want to see the costume.
They have
But the
panels.
costumes
I love
are
the
so
costumes.
good. Like last night, I was during my drunken stupor. This is where I remember some stuff. But
What
like,
hotel did you stay in, by the way? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Hyatt Regency.
Oh, yeah.
Regency.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
yep.
where I was at. But like there was these girls dressed up as like Powder Puff Girls, like, and you know it was kind of scandalous, but you know I was just
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, this
yeah,
is great.
and look,
Like-
dude, that's like half the reason women come to Dragon Con.
But I was just like, yo, I love this. Like people just wear anything.
The atmosphere is just great.
It's beautiful.
People don't
It's
give a
like-
shit. They're dressed up as one guy's dressed up as like Hugh Hefner,
Mhm.
and then another guy's dressed up like Inuyasha.
Right,
You know, and you're just like, I
love it. Like
I
I'm
love
saying,
it. I love it.
No rhyme, no reason. Just
that's what I'd do. Like I'd walk around and I'd just be like, "Yep, I know who you are.
I know you are. Like
I don't know who you are," and I'd go and talk to him about it and be like, "Hey, who are you?" And it's cool because people are passionate. They dress up like that because
Right.
they're passionate, right?
exactly.
Well, I want to know, does your Pokemon League go to the Dragon Con together and dress up as your favorite Pokemon?
Some do.
Do?
Some do.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite. Oh,
Yeah, who is
I
your
got a list?
who is your favorite? If you could,
So,
like, if you're on
get
an
one?
island and you had to battle someone,
Who would I pick?
who would you? If you could only take one fucking Pokemon, though?
Bro, so for some reason, it's Hitmonlee, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because he was like he just had these kicks,
Yeah.
and like I was so big into like kung fu back when I was a kid,
Oh,
so that was just like we just clicked. I was like, that's my Pokemon. Like that is my
The
Pokemon.
Bruce Lee of Pokemon.
The Bruce Lee of Pokemon. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
That's why he's Hitmonlee. And I was just like, oh, bet I'm kicking everybody's ass with him.
You know what's funny is it's so funny you say that because literally one of the videos I watched,
Uh-huh.
a guy KO'd the other dude with Hitmonlee.
With Hitmonlee.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, did he just say Hitmonlee? And I was like, I saw this guy KO dude with Hitmonlee. And then the announcer's like, oh, he pulled out Hitmonlee. You know, he's got that announcer voice like this, and he's like, oh, and he's got Hitmonlee. He's like, will he be able to counter?
Will he be able to?
And you know, he's like, oh, and Sean hits him with a KO. Like he's not like, you know, Sean, he KO'd him. It's just like, and he KO'd him. Yeah. It's like,
some of the streamers they're crazy.
But yeah, man, it's. I don't know what else to say about Dragon Con, but it's like I think if you are even thinking about going, you should go.
Just go.
Just like pay $40 and go on a Saturday or a Friday.
Yeah.
Don't go on a Sunday or a Monday.
Right.
Because that's kind of like the nothing really cool happens on those days.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, so we're talking about the party and stuff, but there's panels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like there's people there that are like super famous. Like they have a Game of Thrones panels.
Yep.
All the people from Game of Thrones were there when I went last.
Oh, that's fire.
Star Trek panel, and fucking 1 year I got to see Captain Picard. Fucking, you know what I mean?
Oh, do you think he'll be back since they're doing that Picard
That's what I'm
show?
saying. If you like something that's going on in some kind of like nerd world, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
if it's going on that, I guarantee you somebody will be at Dragon Con.
Ooh,
Yeah.
don't they have a Breaking Bad area
Yeah,
too?
I bet
They do.
do.
That's what I would go for. Jalen, did
the
you hear about the
Camino.
movie?
Yo,
El
they did say that.
Camino.
El Camino, dude.
All right, okay,
Wait,
so
what?
Yeah, there's a
October 11th. Do you want to come over? We're gonna
Fuck
watch
yeah.
it. We're gonna review it.
Yeah.
John,
You know the reason I watched that show is because of you, right?
was it?
Yeah.
Dude, John and Chris are coming over.
Fuck it. I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
So
here.
we're basically gonna watch it, and then we're gonna do like a review, a YouTube review,
YouTube
on it.
review? Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
and see if that's something that catches on, and people
I'm
want
pretty
us to
sure it
watch
will.
TV shows or
Yeah.
movies and shit, and review them, and
I
just
think
say,
all of you guys
honest-
would be really entertaining together.
I think so too. And then we could like all get together. You know, if one person or something can't get together, but like get together as a group and do it like once a week or
Yeah.
even maybe once every 2 weeks, and just take 2 hours. I think it'd be fun. I'd love to do it.
I'm
You know,
down.
I don't really talk to many people. I like talk to people at work, but I don't really hang out with
You hang
them.
out? Yeah.
You know, like
it's like we're acquaintances.
Yeah, but like I don't know, man. It's just I guess you get older, and see that's why I like that you do the Pokemon League stuff because like, and I did D&D. That was your
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah.
League is kind of like my D&D.
D&D, right? Yeah.
But I just got so busy with life. I was like, dude,
No,
I
that's
can't make it to
completely
Monday D&D, and I'm like, I'm starting to miss it.
Right.
So
Just have that interaction with other people.
that's why I feel you because like, and I love that you have that passion for that because like that's how I feel about playing D&D.
No,
Well,
it,
how
it
do
doesn't.
you juggle? I mean, I know you have a daughter, right?
Yeah,
how do
yeah,
you
yeah.
juggle
Yeah, how do you?
that? Because I mean, he's about to
Yeah.
have.
It's a lot of. So I have a great like support team. Like my mom, my dad, my brother, her mom, her
Yeah.
her side of the family. So anytime that I like need to like go for like a tournament or whatever, and I usually try to go when I don't have her. But like if I do have her and it's just like, oh, you have to go to this tournament.
They're
like,
cool.
They're cool. They're like give me child. Cool, go.
That's
like,
awesome, dude.
They don't care about me. They're just like they just want her.
Like
And
they're
I'm just
like yeah, you go, whatever. Oh yeah, come
you
here,
come here.
sweetie pie.
I
We
think
love you.
you will notice that when yours is here that
I think grandma's gonna be like,
it's all about the kids.
like
Yeah,
if
it
we're
is,
like,
like-
hey, will you watch? Yes, I'll watch them. You could just
I
go
don't
now.
know. It depends on the grandma.
Me and child have
I will.
time.
No,
I think
yeah.
maybe Gina, especially.
Oh, I know Gina will
Um,
because this is her first grandkid.
Yeah.
So I think she's gonna be like, hey, do you guys have anything you need to do? And I could babysit the kid, and Cooper could come over, and I guess that's officially
that
his
the-
name, Cooper Edward Johnson.
Oh, there you
Get the
go.
whole name.
Yeah, Cooper. So speaking of that, I had this thing going on with my wife, right? She had a dream that we had a boy and his name was Cooper, but that was the only thing she dreamed about the boy, like not what he looked like or not his middle name or even his last name, just
Right,
Cooper.
just Cooper.
And so she was like, so I think his name needs to be Cooper. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I was like, but since you are like, since like the universe is talking to you, apparently, and we'll get back to that in a second, the universe. So someone told me off tangent a little bit. They said, Allison was like, I was talking to one of my friends at work, and they were like, so how did you pick the name Cooper? And she was like, well, I had a dream. And then she started talking about what I'm about to talk about, how I was like, well, since you have Cooper, I want to do the middle name. And she was like, well, the universe told you to pick Cooper, so technically you didn't pick Cooper, did you? And I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Logic.
The universe told you? No. You dreamed the damn name up, and you said his name's going to be Cooper, and I can't. What am I going to do? Say no? I could.
Yeah, you could, but it probably wouldn't get far.
It probably wouldn't get far at all, right?
No.
It'd be like the president vetoed. It's Cooper. And you're like, all right.
Like, all right.
Well, fuck, President Veto. I guess what am I going to do? So I was like, can I pick the middle name? And I was like, I'll even give you choices. Like, I won't say it needs to be this. I'll give you like 4 or 5 choices.
You can pick. Okay.
So I gave her family names because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep one of my family names, like my grandpa.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just anytime I ever thought about having a boy, I was like, I want to have him have some kind of name. My great grandpa, or my grandpa, or my dad.
Yeah.
So my grandpa on my dad's side, his name was Charles Edward Johnson. And I was like, okay, so can we do Cooper Charles Johnson, Cooper Edward Johnson, Cooper Dennis Johnson, which is my dad's name, or I don't even remember what the fourth one was. I don't remember. I think it was just those 3. And I gave her another one. I couldn't remember what it was though. But she was like, she texted me like 4 days later, right after I gave her this. I was like, think about it, and we'll talk about it later. So she texted me like 4 days later, and she's like, how close does it have to be exactly that name? Like exactly one of the names you're talking about? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand what you're saying. And she's like, well, what about Den?
Den?
Cooper Den Johnson. And I'm like, how is that even close to any of the names I gave you? Like DENN. Den.
Den.
Like a den where someone like people like like hang out and watch a TV or something in a den. And I was like, I don't think that's even a name. It's describing a place.
Right.
And she was like, well, I just thought, and I was like, well, the deal was you have to pick one of these names. You can't just make up a new name. And so she finally was like, okay, so you can, yeah. But and then she was like, well, what about Cooper Matthew Johnson? And I was like, well, I don't want to name him after me. I feels weird. I was like, I don't like those people, the people that have like Matthew Johnson the third or whatever. I was like, I just don't. That's not my thing, man.
Right, right.
I understand why people want to do that, but like, I don't want to do that. That's just not the way I am, and like, I don't want to force that on my kid. I don't want to force my name on my kid.
You are me.
Yeah. It's just like. It's like you're automatically setting them up for, like if they're not as good as you or better.
Okay, I didn't even think
they failed.
Right.
Like you're not as good as Matthew Johnson Sr., you loser.
Gotta change your name now.
Yeah, right. I can't live up to the the name, Dad.
Family name.
Oh. And so she finally was like, well, what about Jeremiah? And I was like, well, no, I don't not my name. And so we finally. Like all the rigmarole, we finally settled on Cooper Edward Johnson. I think
she honestly could change it.
There's
like
There's a possibility he's gonna be born and she's gonna be like, his name's Jeffrey Thomas Johnson, and I'm just like, fuck.
Okay.
Fuck it. Okay. Whatever.
Sign here.
Yep. Jeff birth certificate. Jeffrey Thomas Johnson. God damn it.
Just be prepared. You'll be fine though.
How? So I gotta ask you this. Were you there whenever your kid? Your child's a girl, right?
Yes.
How old is she?
She turned 6 actually Sunday.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What's her name?
Ansley.
I love that name. Baby.
Oh yeah.
Were you there when she was born?
Yeah, I saw it.
So
it was natural birth.
We had it at a hospital and everything. Yeah, no C-section or anything. C-section. Yeah, it pushed out through, the magic area.
The magic area.
It was
the V portal.
The V portal. I saw some things that I probably wish
You
I
hadn't
hadn't
seen.
seen, but it's like stuck in the back of my head now. But
They'll never go away,
They'll
man.
never go away.
Is that how you feel, Matt, when they had me opened up on the operating table?
Yeah, pretty much. No, that was
It's-
rough.
Had a
Like,
Matt,
C-section.
Tell him the story you told me about when you actually looked at it and you were like, "Oh God."
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No. Why did I turn around?
He said he turned around at like right the moment when they were like cutting her open.
Oh,
And he just
Well,
said-
no, she was open.
I was
Oh.
open.
It was
They
after
had just-
Marley was already out. Like,
And you just saw it like fucking face hugger looking aliens.
yeah, it was.
Didn't you say you were like, I'm gonna puke? I think I'm gonna throw up.
You
No,
almost,
that was with Millie when they had to rush her back.
That
to
was
do the
when-
C-section.
yeah.
Oh.
But you did that when they filtered my blood because I didn't take blood
Oh.
during my
Oh, yeah.
my C-section. And Matt looks over there and he goes, "Is that your blood?" And I was like, "Nope, this is the doctor's."
He's like, what? I can imagine Matt just, what? I'm so tired. I don't know what's
I
going on.
don't know what's going on.
That's crazy.
All right, so what was your first thought, like when you saw your kid, right? Like you saw your
yeah,
SO,
my spawn.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you know,
so
your lady was holding her. Like, what was your first thought?
so instantly as soon as the doctor pulled out, like, cause I was in the room, who else in the room? Her aunt was in the room, her grandma was in the room, and her mom was in the room.
Yeah,
And literally, so as soon as the baby came out, literally everybody looked at her. She's not an idiot. Everybody looked at her, and they looked at me, and they were like, "Oh, that's your baby."
Oh,
Like
They're
she
like,
looked
"Yep,
exactly like
yep,
me. Like
yep."
even in the alien form, it was just like that's mine. And
you're like, I don't know how to take that.
There's no doubt, man. She looks just like
like
you.
she's literally spitting image. And then when I finally got her, like, in my arms, I was just like, I was just so happy. I was just like, yo, this is this, like, even though she's independent, like she's her own
Yeah.
being. It's just like, yo,
She's
you
part
are,
of you.
you are mine. Like
She's
I'm
literally
a part of me. Like,
Yeah.
And it was just wild. Like a lot of things obviously changed ever since then, but it was just like, I knew it was just like, yo, I have to do everything I can for you, and it's going to be done. Like,
Yeah.
I have no choice.
like there's no question. In
no
your
question.
mind.
Yeah,
I will do whatever it takes to make your life great.
exactly. Like, those, like, when they're like, oh, would you take a bullet? I'm like, I'll take 20 bullets, like, without a shadow of a doubt.
Like fucking Neo, just like
just literally, just like
boo 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 boo
as
boo.
long-
she
No.
is precious. I've seen pictures
Oh,
of her.
thank
She's
you.
beautiful.
So
Thank you.
she's 6. That means she started school, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
she just started kindergarten like, a couple weeks
How was
ago.
that? Were you?
Bro, I cried.
You cry?
And she was so happy to leave me. I was so mad. I was just like, yo, because like first she was like acting all nervous when we did when we went up there like the day before. It was like a week before, just meet her teacher, her
Yeah.
bus driver, all that stuff. And she was kind of like, oh, I don't know. And I was just like, oh, it's okay, babe, you'll be fine. Literally the first day of school, like she was like, all right, Dad, deuces. And I'm like, yo,
You're like, that's all you gonna leave Dad? You're just
exactly.
gonna
I'm like,
do?
give me some
what the-
love or something.
You even
Like-
gonna hug me? Yeah.
right. Like I walked her in and everything, talked to her teacher, and she's like, I'm like the kids were playing with like Play-Doh and it's just so she's like, I'm about to go play with them. Like, you have a nice day.
Like, Dad, Play-Doh, you're
You're
see you.
irrelevant.
I'll see you later.
right.
You know?
And I was just like, it broke my heart. It's like, yo, you're growing up. Like, oh, but she loves it. She is loving it. She's made a couple of friends already.
Isn't that weird how like it's so cool to see how kids are I don't know how to use it, but like the word fresh, and like they see somebody and they're like, you're my age, I like you, let's be
like,
friends.
We're friends now.
Like,
yeah.
but like us, like we're like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to do a background check on you and see what.
Kindergarten is the cutest though, because I volunteer. Our youngest is in kindergarten. I volunteer up there
Oh.
at the school all the time at lunch,
Uh-huh.
and they're just like, "Please help me," but they tell you all these cute stories.
Need you to open my Dole fruit can.
I think I was one of them was like, what would you do if you saw giant gummy bears coming towards you? And I was like, that's literally nothing I've ever thought about before.
ever. Yeah,
He's like, that was on Goosebumps though. And I was like, well, I mean, what would you do? Would you eat them? And he was like, no, they have eyeballs. I would run home.
You're like,
And the
"Oh,
kid
shit,
next to
Billy,
him
you
is
have
like,
eyeballs."
of course I would eat them. I have a sugar addiction. I'm like, you're in kindergarten.
He's like, at least you're
what?
admitting it, I guess, right? You're,
was
This is
just
fair.
so
That's the
cute.
first step.
Like, what? You're in kindergarten. Like, I can't eat anything with eyeballs.
Just like that's fair.
I mean,
It's-
you're not wrong.
it's like weird how one from one kid to the next was like, one kid was like, no, it has eyeballs, I can't eat it, and the other one's like, yeah,
Sugar.
I would eat
Oh,
that.
eat that.
I would eat every inch of that gummy bear. I would devour that gummy
I've
bear.
been waiting for this all my life.
That's right.
Like, this is I dream it. I dream about giant gummy bears at night, and I would eat it. I would eat that gummy bear.
They're a handful. Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm ready, man. I mean, I think I'm ready,
You're
but
ready.
You got it.
I think I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready. I'm
You're
just
never ready. You're never
Yeah, I
ready.
feel-
Yeah, no, they always say
You're
it's like
ready,
you're
but
never
then
ready,
you're
but you're
never ready.
yeah,
Like, okay.
but you're ready.
So this was something that me and Matt had talking about things that you didn't expect to happen when you had kids. So yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of our daughter swallowing a screw.
oh
Wha-
god.
No,
How?
there's a picture of it. I forgot to send it to you.
Did
She was okay. So she was playing with it. I was sitting on the couch, right? She comes in there and she's like, "Mommy, I found this thing," and she's like, "I don't know what she was doing. She's just throwing her about." And then all of a sudden, she somehow got it in her mouth, and the next thing I know, she swallowed a blunt screw. It was blunt, thankfully. She told me it was a nail. I called Matt at work.
She called me at work. She was like, Marley swallowed a nail.
I
I'm
was
like,
crying.
what? She
What?
swallowed a nail? I can't remember who the manager was at that. I was like, I gotta go. My kid just swallowed a nail. And they're like, go.
Go, like leave. Like,
So
That sounds
like
serious.
how? I hate to ask, but how did she like pass it?
yeah, they were like, they did an X-ray. There's an X-ray. We have it somewhere of the nail in her intestines, and they're like, or not the nail, but the screw right here. And you see it clear as day, and they've got the pointer pointed straight at it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. She's gonna poop that out. You guys have to dig through her poop and find it."
Man.
We
No,
did that once.
We did it one
And
time.
then we were like, you know what?
Like, we'll
Dad.
just hope. So she
We're on a
probably
metal
still
detector
has
over
We-
the
poop.
screw. in her.
Like beep beep, beep. Yep, there it is.
We were like, they're gonna X-ray her again in like 3 days. If it's not there, we're good.
yeah, we took her back
Oh, okay,
to the
okay.
pediatrician, and we had a second X-ray, and she had passed it. Apparently, we never found it. I don't know what
Hey,
that,
buddy.
but so has anything like that happened to you?
Yeah, strange.
Like
Not anything screw related. I can tell you that. Man, my child does some wild things. So I'm really trying to figure out.
You're like every day is like an Amazonian fucking.
She could be wild sometimes. I mean, I love her. Like, shoot. No, there was one time it was kind of a scary moment. Her and her mom were out shopping, like at the outlet malls,
Yeah,
and it was raining.
the ones in like by Woodstock, right?
Yeah,
new
yeah,
ones?
the new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she was with her friend, and they were shopping.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, she likes to run, so like she was just, jetting, no problem. And then she just cracked her head, and like literally,
Oh,
yeah. And it was just like her mom was just like calling me like upstairs, like
Losing her
And I'm
mind.
just like, I forgot what I was doing. I just dropped there and was like, yo, bye. Like I didn't even say anything. I was just like, I'm leaving. And then like luckily she just got like a couple stitches on her head and it was fine. But like besides that, she hasn't been to the hospital for anything.
It's like
Too
that
major.
moment though. Like when you hear that, you're like,
Yeah, and you're just like,
yeah,
but like
just
luckily
breathe
it
in.
was fine. It's like she literally just had like a little cut like right here. And so they just stitch it up. But it's funny now because like anytime I'm just like, you want to get stitches in your head again? She's like, I'm good. I'm gonna chill. And then you're just like, yeah,
Like,
okay.
I'm
That's
glad
what
you
I
brought
thought.
that point up, Daddy. I'm not going to run.
It's like I'm good. I'm good right here.
You know what?
Good.
Speaking to go, well, I guess yeah. Speaking of like crashing and burning. Matt told me that you kind of going back to your Pokemon tournament stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of have a question going back to the kid stuff.
The pothole.
Bruh.
Like, yeah, we didn't even want him to tell us
Yo!
about it, dude.
This whole, oh my God, I can't believe you remember this shit. Oh, you brought back. Okay, let me tell you this bullshit. We done this fucking bullshit.
So like, yeah, set us up, man. Like,
Okay, so I forget what tournament we were in. But like, cause usually like I drove my car like literally everywhere for most of these tournaments. Like I drove my car to Canada for a tournament.
So what kind of car do you drive? Just to like kind of
I
so
drive
people can
a
get into
Kia
their
Optima.
mind. Okay.
Um,
So it's like a little car,
It's a
kind of low to
sedan.
the ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're driving back from this tournament in Tennessee. It's the fucking Tennessee. So we're driving back to Tennessee. And it's me, and I got my boy Mike with me. I got PJ, who he's actually like he's in high school, but like me and his dad is cool. So like he sometimes comes on trips with us because he trusts us.
Yeah.
I am an adult
Right.
most of the time.
He trusts you.
So he trusts me with his
Most of the
kid. So it was me, Mike, PJ. I forgot who 2 other people were with us. Irrelevant. Either way. No, Dennis was with us, I think. I don't know. So we're driving and through these Tennessee roads, and then we just everything like the roads are kind of shaky, but I was like, it's fine. Like I drive professionally. I'm like, I got this. And all of a sudden you just hear boom. And I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? I'm just like, what? And then so like obviously like I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta, check this out. I pull to the side.
Maybe hit a possum.
Right.
Who knows, right?
Yeah. So like I pull to the side. And I'm thinking like, okay, so I think I just like popped the tire or something.
Right.
Whatever. No, like the whole tire is like gone. And I was just like, yo, what is happening? So like I put a spare and this is like around 11. No, I think it was around like 12 o'clock. But we were driving in the night.
Were you on the highway or were you
on
like
the
on
highway.
a back road? Okay.
We were on the highway.
Jesus.
And so I was just like, well, I can't buy another tire right now. There's no tire spots that are open. And like I was like searching for miles. There's nothing. So I was just like, okay.
And there's like no lights on the
none.
It's like pitch black, dude.
Exactly. So I'm just like, okay, let's try to. Well, first I'm like, all right, let's jimmy it up, put the spare tire, whatever. And then I pull off to the side of the road just to see if there is like any like maybe some 24-hour Walmarts, whatever. Just so I can go buy a tire or something.
Right.
So I pull up into this gas station. All of a sudden, I see 3 other cars. Like it's like we're in middle bumfuck nowhere. So like I was just like, oh, there's 3 cars in this gas station. Okay, but like everybody's like outside the car. There's just chilling there. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. So I pull up to the gas station. I walk in, and like I ask the employee there, whatever, and I was just like, hey man, you know of any like stores around here that go buy a tire? He was like, oh, what happened? I was like, I was driving, I just hit this pothole. It's like, oh, you hit the pothole. And I was just like, what do you mean the pothole?
he popped up.
Yeah,
like
he literally popped up. I was like, the pothole. I was just like,
it's like a meerkat. Like, are you a fucking meerkat, dude? What is going on here?
He was like, yeah, man. Like, he was like, yeah, you see those people out there? Yeah, they hit the same pothole.
Oh my
There was 10 other cars here earlier. And I was just like, bro, what? I was like, why is this not fucking fixed? Like,
how big is the pothole, man?
It's fucking huge.
It's like
a
highway
crater.
wide.
Yeah, it's like no signs, no nothing, no.
It's like, oh, yo, and you didn't know to get over to the farthest right lane before that pothole? Like,
it's
no.
like all the locals know about the pothole. I was just like, how
the pothole.
Yeah. I was so mad. And then so literally I had to drive on my spare tire all the way home. So what it took like 2 hours took 6 hours.
Bro, you think he would have added a garage onto his like gas station, right?
Literally have like
and just
made so much money.
Made bank, dude.
Literally just
like, oh, you hit the pothole. I got tires for you right here. You know?
For real.
That's what he should just name it. The
pothole.
The pothole garage.
I was so mad at that fucking road. And you know what? It was crazy because I remember I think it was Jolton, Tennessee. It was where it was near because it reminded me of one of the Pokemon is called Jolteon.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's ironic as fuck. But okay. Like, whatever, Pokemon related. I popped, my whole tire goes off. Cool. But yeah, no, fuck that place.
Wow. Dude, I'm going to stay away from fucking Jolton, Tennessee, dude.
Stay away.
You think the pothole's still there?
I know it's still there. I absolutely know it's still there. Like, because I swear, like, I think I
feel like we should start a GoFundMe
to fill
the pothole.
Take a bag of concrete and
Yeah.
fill up that
Like,
somebody,
get some asphalt and like get some volunteers to like go out there. I mean, obviously, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna do that because you got to like stop highway traffic.
I'm sure everybody would.
They'd be like,
just put some.
We'll gladly wait in traffic while you fix it.
Just
Yeah,
do your thing.
we're
man.
tired of
Do
that
your
motherfucking
thing.
Wasn't
pothole.
there a company not too long ago that was going out and filling up?
Talking about Domino's?
Was it Domino's?
Yeah, it was Domino's. Yeah.
Did
Maybe
they
we
actually
should
do
call
that
them.
shit though?
They did. I think it was up in Cali.
Yeah, I
Bro.
think so
Yeah,
too.
That's what
We should tell them the
You
pothole.
should've-
Like, bro,
Yeah.
please try to
Just
tell
You
go
like
Yeah.
order it to the gas station and they're like, "Yeah, did you see that fucking pothole on that highway?
right there.
Get your Domino asphalt truck out here right now."
Please, like,
That's fucking hilarious. I'm so glad you told that story, dude.
right. It brings
The
up
pothole.
I was so mad because I think I had work like that next day, and they're like, "Oh, why are you so tired?" I'm like,
You did. You were like 6 hours late.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was because I was literally like, bro, I'm still driving. Because I'm like, you can only go like 45, 50 miles per hour with that fucking little
Dinky.
spare.
Yeah, the dinky, man.
And I'm just like, and none of my, and like, I was afraid to like let anybody else drive. So I was like, fuck it, like, let me just take some 5-hour energy. And I'm just, when my
Well,
hazard lights
you
on,
felt
going.
like you wanted to be. You had the kid, the younger guy in your car, and
right,
you're like,
right.
you're
So
trying
I
to
had
be responsible.
I'm not doing that shit again. Next time, I'm just like, we should have just stayed the night and then got it tired. But I was just like, no, because he had school the next day.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yeah. See,
no,
that's
it was
all. Because
like-
so now you're like, well, shit. Now I have to.
Now I have to go.
I have to drive back, man.
Right. Never again.
Wow.
Though.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm just gonna fly everywhere with make believe money.
Okay, so you said pediatrician earlier, Megan.
Yeah.
Like, and you too. Like, how did you go about? Did you just like look up in Google and say like, pediatricians near me?
No.
Or
this
did you,
is
like-
what happened?
Like, how does that work?
The pediatrician that was on call was our child's pediatrician from then on out.
So you're just like,
Dr.
Like,
Graham.
This is you.
Yeah, I mean, and he was a really good doctor. Dr. Graham was the pediatrician on call. Actually, when Millie was born, what was that doctor's name?
Dr.
Ahmed. And he
Mhm.
was they had a local practice. It was Dr. Ahmed, Dr. Cheek, and Dr. Cheek has been practicing since
was he cheeky?
we never saw Dr. Cheek. We
Oh,
saw
okay.
Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Graham, but there were several people in that practice. And then the practice broke up,
Mm-hmm.
and we just stayed with Dr. Graham because Dr. Ahmed went to Jasper. But Dr. Graham's been a really good doctor. He's up the road from y'all in Bells Ferry.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Would you?
Like refer?
They're pretty busy, but
Oh, he's that
Dr.
good.
He's a
Okay.
really nice man.
Oh,
He just
that's the
is
best,
really
yeah.
nice. I mean, like he's very soft spoken.
Yeah.
He's just,
So it's like
where
you
do
feel
think
good
he's
for your
from?
kid to be
He's not. I mean, he's got a slight accent.
like a southern accent or like a northern accent.
He's no from foreign.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Okay,
gotcha.
Foreign, but he's super nice and he's very soft spoken and he is super respectful and he will tell you everything that you need to know.
Does he like?
But we haven't seen him the last time we were in there. He's got there's a lady doctor that he just hired a bunch of people. He hired 2 nurse practitioners and he hired another doctor and she's super nice, but she just had a baby too. So
So she's out of commission for a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen her up there, but she was super nice. She was really thorough.
Yeah.
But they're literally right up the road from y'all.
Maybe I'll try to take.
Where
what-
did y'all find your
Yeah.
pediatrician?
So her mom lives in Jasper and I live in Kennesaw. So
Yeah.
we just found a pediatrician was like right in the middle between us. I think up in like Canton. And then we actually had to change because like my insurance is changed, so we couldn't they didn't accept that insurance. We had to find somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how we found our person. We're just like, who's in the middle
Google.
of us?
Google.
Yeah, literally. And then I think honestly, like because Brandy is my baby mom's aunt.
Yeah.
She actually told us about a couple of pediatricians. That was like really nice. So that's what we started off with.
Yeah, I feel like
First,
it's like probably a word of mouth thing, kind of.
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah.
Like you, obviously, there's going to be times when you Google it, but like hopefully you have friends. That's what I was hoping. Like they'd tell me, and then I could ask you, and
Right.
you know, and like ask different people, like, well, what did you do? How did you find it? And then kind of just mangle all those
Literally,
answers
yeah,
and stuff
You just
together.
ask people who have kids.
Yeah,
and
'cause I
they'll
know
let
it's
you
gonna-
know, Yeah.
Right, I know it's going to come down to the point where it's just like, dude, you're just going to have to do it the way you want to. You're just going to have to just do it.
Well,
Right.
usually what they tell you to do is find a pediatrician before the baby comes. You're supposed to
supposed to-
go
yeah.
do the
Oh,
research
shit,
before the
okay.
baby comes, and then you find somebody that you like. But we were just fortunate enough that the doctor that was on call at the hospital was somebody that we liked. But Dr. Graham is on Bells Ferry. He's he right before you get to Walmart, just those buildings, those office buildings on the
Oh,
left.
to the left?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
After
It
Walmart,
was like right.
No, right
where the big
before.
dinosaur is.
No, before you get to the big dinosaur, because the big dinosaur's on the right. There's actually what are those apartments that are down there too?
So if
Or
you're
houses.
going and Walmart's on your right,
Yeah, if you're going down Bells Ferry,
yeah,
before you get to Walmart, before you get to the big dinosaur,
yes,
on the left, there's a neighborhood down there too, but there's a bunch of office
I
buildings.
know exactly
right
what
there.
you're talking
yeah.
about.
So
Yep.
he's in there,
Okay.
and they're really good. There's a lady in downtown Canton, that Lee and Ashley used. I can't remember what her name is though. I want to say it starts with a V.
Oh wait, honestly, I'm gonna try to do that. The one you're talking about, Mr.
Go
Graham,
over
just
there
because
and talk
he's
to him.
he's
They're really
literally
nice.
like right by my
Yeah,
house.
they are,
dude.
and usually, if you call them at 8 o'clock in the morning, like if you have an emergency or whatever, they'll see you.
Really,
Yeah, he leaves
pretty nice.
open like a 9:30 to a 10 for emergency call-ins.
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. And like I said, Dr. Ahmed was really good. I don't it's been such a long time though since we looked for a doctor. So.
Right.
Yeah, I guess like when is the point that you stop seeing a pediatrician? Is there an age limit? And you see like a regular
you're
doctor?
supposed to see a pediatrician until you're like 18.
18?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see a
technically.
pediatrician until you're 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But I mean, I've noticed as the girls have gotten older, they've needed to go to the doctor less, which has been really good. I mean, I don't know about your daughter starting kindergarten, but
Yeah.
the first week Maddie got sick.
oh, bro.
Oh, she hasn't gotten.
Crossing, knock
Crossing
on wood.
feet, I know. For real. Like,
There you go.
she hasn't gotten sick. Hopefully. But
Really?
flu season's coming soon,
Yep.
so I
And
know it's going to
strep.
happen. So this
It's
Sick after the first 2 days.
Yeah, she got
was
sick
our
after-
kindergarten.
yep.
And like not just like,
Like-
oh, I don't feel good, like puking or
puke.
Yeah.
Yo, no, I do remember that. I do remember you told me that. Yeah, it was just like
yeah.
because she was
Well,
like,
no, this year.
Oh, this year?
this year.
Yeah. We were supposed to start last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
we-
and she. Oh, literally 2 days.
yeah,
Yeah.
2 days.
Good God.
And we were like, yeah, no, that's
Those kids are super friendly up there. Like I went up there to, like I said, a volunteer sometimes, and they'll
Uh-huh.
be like,
And yep.
Yeah, you're like,
that'll do it.
and that's how you get sick.
no, I told this little boy, he dropped his spoon on the floor. I was like, baby, I'll go get you another spoon. Don't get that. I knew he was going to do it.
Right.
I came back with the spoon. Literally, he's eating with the spoon. I just told him not to pick up off the floor. And I was like, there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do now.
There's
nothing-
like
It
it's out
doesn't
of my
even
hands.
register.
The sickness is coming.
It doesn't even register to him. He's just like,
I'm
oh,
just-
I
I
just dropped my spoon on the floor. What is floor spoon?
Mhm. Just a little bit more germ.
Yeah, like he's like,
Hey,
oh,
build
what-
that immune system.
Yeah.
You know?
so what? There's a hair on it. No, it'll be all right.
I don't want to send that child home to his mother now that he's been infected.
You let him eat that floor spoon. You let him lick it. You should have just grabbed that floor spoon and said, no,
I know.
I know you're going to eat this.
When you come back and you see a child eating something
You're just like, this is what's wrong with America.
with the spoon that just came out the
Taking some
Them damn floor spoons.
smile and
Please.
keep going.
Just
I
go
mean,
go
I
about
don't
it.
know what else
There's nothing you
to
can do
do.
about it.
You're
Like,
just
you're gonna
like-
take the
I
spoon
had
out of his
literally
mouth?
had the new wrapped up spoon in my hand, because they've got the plastic all
Yeah,
around
yeah,
it. You're like,
yeah.
I've got you a new.
All
You don't
right.
need this now.
I guess we're doing this then.
Like, my job here is done.
I don't know what else to do. I'm going to just.
You just
I'm
walk,
just
what am I supposed to? I can't knock it out of his hand. No.
They're like, oh, you've already eaten the floor with the floor
With
spoon.
the floor spoons, yeah. So at
Yeah,
this
then I'm
point-
gonna get in trouble for knocking the spoon out of the kid's
Yeah, they're
hand.
like, why are you slapping
Why?
spoons out of kids' hands?
They'll never
you,
have me back up there again.
No,
You can't. Yeah, you
You'll be
can't come.
spoon lady.
You're
Yeah,
dangerous.
after that.
watch out for the spoon lady. You'll be like a kid's, like a tall tale for the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids.
They'll be like, "Do you remember that time that lady smacked that spoon out of your hand?" They'll be like,
The spoon lady myth.
like,
If you're not good, she's gonna come out of the
If you-
trash can.
yeah. "If you eat off a floor spoon, the spoon lady will get you."
we only use forks now.
Yeah, it's like anytime a spoon falls on the floor, like you remember in high school, like when someone dropped their tray and everybody like, oh, like all the kids like at the same time, like looking around for spoon lady.
This is literally like equivalent of like dropping the soap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
it's
kids
like
equivalent to dropping the soap.
Don't drop the spoon.
I'll drop the spoon or the spoon lady will come
Come
get you.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Matt told me, I heard from Matt about the pothole story, as well as that you're learning to play an instrument.
Yeah. And I only say that is because I was good about it for a good like 3 weeks, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep practicing. And then so the one unfortunate thing about like going to all these tournaments and stuff is I travel a lot.
Yeah, dude.
And then like I don't bring my instrument, so like I'll be gone for like weeks at a time, and then it's
Right.
just like
And it's like I'm not gonna buy another one.
right. And then it's just like then I get out of the swing of like practicing each day, and then I just stop. So like I know how to play a couple tunes on it.
Is it you told me it was a bass, right?
Yeah, it's a bass. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you like it? So far like that you played it?
Oh, I love it.
I do,
Yeah.
It like, I don't know about you, but like I saw people playing guitar
Mhm.
and I was like, that looks really cool. And then I just saw a bass and I was just like, that looks way cool though.
I like how you let your lips do it. It's just
You know, like I'm just like that. It's like that's a guitar, but with only four strings. You know, it's like that's gonna be easier to play, and it just sounds better.
Right.
'Cause
Right.
I had a kid. It was a kid in my, I think it was in middle school, and he was just like slapping it, dude. And he was playing. He was playing Superstitious.
Oh, he was just grooving with it.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like I knew the song, but I was just like,
You're just like,
I was like,
oh.
like I didn't know that. Like I was in middle school, I didn't know a bass made that noise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, it's a bass guitar, dude. And I'm just like, dude, this is awesome. Like I want to play this. And he was like, well, here, try it out. And I just started messing around with it. And
ever since
I've
then,
just been
it's just
hooked,
like,
man.
Good. Man, that's
I don't know. I
beautiful.
just see a guitar, and I'm just like, I like guitars. Like Matt plays the guitar and stuff, and he like makes some sweet sounds. But like, I'm just like, you just can't. Like, there's sounds you can make on a guitar that you can't make on a bass.
Right.
But there's also sounds on a bass
Bass.
that you can't make on a guitar.
Mhm.
Like you can't slap. I mean, you can slap a guitar, but it probably sound like shit.
Yeah.
You know?
For real though.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. I didn't know how you kind of got into it. Like
So initially, so I was in chorus all in high school.
Yeah.
And then I've always been around music.
Yeah.
I love music. And I started off playing the guitar because we had a guitar club at my school, and I was just like,
Nice.
ooh, I'm like, instead of paying somebody to teach me how to play, I'm just going to this guitar club and make all these people who already know to play guitar to teach me. So that's how I started. And then around my, I think what, like last year, maybe? So there's this artist called Thundercat,
yeah.
and he's a bass god. And I was just listening to it, and I was just like, I have to play this instrument. Like there's I'm like, fuck the guitar, fuck anything else.
Yeah.
I need to play the bass. Like I want.
Dude, Flea
spot.
was like that for me. Like
Really, like
yeah.
you were just like,
I know exactly how you feel because
Yeah.
like you just saw him playing, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, you're just like
You can do that with that bass?
and he's like, I just saw him in concert this year, and like actually saw him like play it live, and I was just like, take me.
I was like, I'm yours, man.
Like, please teach me everything you know, because I want
I want to
to
be your
aspire to be.
I want to be your grasshopper and you to be my master. Please teach me the
Please.
ways of the base gods.
Yes, please.
You know?
Like, and ever since then, like, so that I've just been like practicing, taking the time. But really, it's just like, fuck, like I can't find the time, or at least I'm too tired after work,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like, okay, either I go fiddle with my bass or I can go to sleep, and then I just go to sleep, and then that's the only issue.
Dude.
It is.
Like I again, like I love it, but like I'm really bad about that as well.
Mm.
I'll be doing something, homework or something, and then like I'll be talking to my wife or something, and then I'm just like, oh man, it's 8:00. I gotta go to bed.
Right.
I'm like, because I know that I'm gonna stay up for another hour, like looking at YouTube.
Yep.
Or, talking on Discord to my gamer friends or some shit, and then it's gonna be like 9:30. I'm like, fuck, I gotta really go to sleep. And then you stay up for another 30 minutes, like trying to go to sleep, and
Right.
you finally go to
And
sleep.
you finally go to sleep.
Yeah. So, you probably could have played bass for like an hour and then actually went to sleep.
Exactly.
But
And
then you probably like, well, shit, I didn't get on my phone. Now I got to see what's on YouTube. What the fuck? I can't not see what's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
Well, you have to have a disciplined schedule.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about
But it's
time
really hard.
management,
I mean,
yeah.
like I'm
is
just
so
saying
hard.
that to be sarcastic towards you, but because I don't have a schedule at all. But I know,
But it's so true.
like
It's
if
so
you are
true.
disciplined enough to schedule all of that out, you could get it done. But and it's simple to say that, but it's so hard to implement.
do it. Yeah, you gotta apply it.
well, it's
That's
like
the
we were
issue.
talking about homework, like,
Yeah, it's a full circle for like anything, really.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to
like,
dude,
be
you just-
accountable and you have to be disciplined. And it is really hard to be accountable to yourself and be disciplined.
it's different when you're being accountable to someone else because you're like, you're like, if I don't do this, this person's gonna, if I don't feed this baby, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Have to
feed
do-
that baby.
Right.
But like, you're like, homework, nobody's gonna die if I don't do this homework, right? Nah, I'm good. And then you, like we were saying, you got 5 days left to do, fucking 20 fucking things of homework and online, and you're just like, what am I gonna do? And then you either fail or you fucking pass by the skin of your teeth.
Well, is that the motivation then? You know you're going to pass by the skin of your teeth if you do all these 20 assignments in 5 days?
I don't know.
I mean, like,
man.
really, like, what do you think is a good solution for people who struggle with self-motivation and staying accountable to online courses?
I think Jalen might be right. Like, you just don't fucking take online courses.
I'm like,
I mean, he
it's so
has a point when he
convenient,
was.
but like, yeah.
But the thing is, though, is like, I guess like the reason why I thought it was a good topic to bring up was because like all these schools are online. now.
Well, that's what me and you talked about that earlier.
Right.
This is my theory is that all learning will eventually be online.
Which makes
because
sense. Yeah.
I mean, and you think our kids.
Mhm.
Does your daughter know how to use an iPad?
Of course.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
So
Are you kidding?
And I've noticed this over the years as the girls have been going to school, the schools are implementing more and more programs that are internet based.
Right.
And they aren't, I mean, I know they're doing some teaching, but most of the things they're doing are online. Like today she came home with a program that they use to assess where she's at in reading and math. It's called iReady. And they did all of that online and they've been working on it for like the last week. And I know when she was in 2nd grade, they did a bunch of work online. They're going to start doing all homework online.
I mean, it makes so much sense. And like that's once again the power of computers and the internet is that you get to do all that stuff. And I think, and I honestly think it's great, especially for like kids, because they'll actually like do that stuff. Like they'll actually like stick to it. It's just like,
do you think there will be a time though that like going in that direction you're talking about, that they're just like, they just wake up at home and they're like, flip on your TV to channel whatever and you follow a course through the day? You think that would be, or even go to this website maybe?
I think that's possible. I think, like I said before, I think you'll have learning centers.
Like a community thing?
Yeah, like a community learning center.
Yeah.
And you can have...
That'll be the new school.
Yeah, you
right?
can have any amount of kid at any age sit at their computer and do whatever work they need to do. You
Right.
don't have to separate them into classes. You don't have to separate them by age.
Oh, it's
You
just
take-
literally you take any course.
Yeah, any course at any time.
And you
I
can
mean,
progress at your own rate.
At your
Yeah.
own-
maybe,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I could
And you'll
see
have a
that
watcher.
happen.
You said what you
I
said,
said
the
like
watcher.
a
Yeah,
watcher,
watcher.
like a child care person.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my stepbrother's wife, she teaches on VIP Kids, that where you teach English to Chinese children.
Ah.
So that's why, like, the Chinese are already implementing, teachers online teaching their kids foreign language, and I just and I had talked to some teachers about it before, and some teachers think, like, like sometimes it is really great to be in a room with a really great teacher, but if your teacher's mediocre.
Oh yeah. Well. I didn't mean. Yeah. Think about that
I mean,
because it really
could-
is sometimes about the teacher.
Yeah,
and
and,
stuff,
and
like-
you don't really know until like
You get there.
yeah,
Unless,
all you know is from your kid,
sometimes,
right?
Yeah. What's that website?
Those are like a glass
Rate
door
My
for teachers or
Professor.
something, or rate
Yeah.
my professor.
Yeah. That's what it is. So like you can go off of that, but sometimes there's certain classes only that teacher teaches, so you don't really have a choice.
Right.
But,
Yeah. It's like no matter, you're like, oh, this is a shitty teacher, but like, what am I gonna do?
Right. And especially like if you can't find a class to add it, like that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Because it's all, you only have a certain amount of seats that they
Right.
can fill. So like somebody takes that good teacher, then no, you're stuck with him.
Well, see, I think that would make it even better as far as like online learning goes. Say there was this great teacher for whatever class you wanted to take, but they taught in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the best and they know the most. If
Right.
they put all their coursework online,
Then everybody can get
then
that information.
everybody had access to it.
Yep.
And then you could get it maybe at a cheaper price if you've got more people willing to pay this professor for this one class.
Right. Yeah.
And then that you get credit for that for whatever university that I think that. I mean, I understand going to a class and being around other people, and I understand that you can get a lot of energy from a good professor, but there are some people. Why am I paying for this?
For real. It's just like, how did you get
I
this
mean,
teacher
and
good?
then some of them just want you to buy their books. Like they
Oh, I
wrote the
forgot.
book.
Oh, those.
Yeah,
You got 5 books all written by me.
that's right.
It's only
$2,000,
$5.
That-
It's only $5.
That's insane. You should
is so
not be
true,
paying
yeah.
that much for a book.
For a book, yeah.
And you know that when they wrote it, you're exactly right. All the profit goes to them.
Yeah.
So why should we be forced to do that? Like, I would love to go back to school, but I'm not. That's a little.
No, I understand.
A little
mean,
much.
Like
Yeah.
I like I said, I
Yeah, I
will
agree.
go on the internet and I'll find stuff that I'm interested in. Like
Mhm.
randomly the other day, I was looking up quantum physics. That's not.
Yeah, like random shit
It's
you
just
just
something-
look up
yeah,
online,
like,
dude.
And so you, so much information is out there. I know I'm not going to get any kind of credit for that,
Right, but you still like get that information.
yeah.
and
Well, I mean,
everything.
what if I could? I'm like, I'm a house. I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I've got multiple sclerosis or whatever, and so
Mhm.
I'm at home. Why not take
mean,
a class
honestly,
online
yeah.
and learn as much as I can? Why not? And why not get credit for it? And if I could get credit for it, then maybe one day somebody be like, "Hey, look, she's kind of intelligent."
She's got-
Well, I mean, if you could, like you said, if you can do it and you can learn all this stuff online, why not? If you have the time,
For real.
why not further yourself?
No, I agree.
It's all about if you want to learn it. That's the thing. Is like
That's all it is.
But do
really.
you-
you got to want to learn
you
it.
gotta want to do it, but are we as humans? I mean, because I can tell my attention span's a lot less.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that because you get older? You think?
I don't know. I'm just wondering, do you think we're gonna be able to keep the kids on track to keep doing online stuff? I mean,
That's a good
I mean, I
question.
guess we're training them that way in schools.
Right,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think it'll be like if you limit their like whatever they're if they go into something and like locks them out of everything else, so they can't go on YouTube, they can't go on this.
Right. It's like this is
website.
what you're on.
This is what you're on, and you can't do anything else. Okay, well, I guess I have to do this. Maybe that's the
yeah.
thing to do, because I know they have stuff that you could do that, like at fucking Chattahoochee Tech. You take a test, you can't go on fucking YouTube.
like
It's
on the
locked
side.
out. That's
Yeah.
it. You're locked out. So maybe that's the answer to that.
I
They
mean,
force them to do it.
like I said, they're already
No, they're already implementing this.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
right?
they're
Yeah.
doing tests online. They're doing assignments online,
Mhm.
homeworks online. So, I guess if we trained ourselves, we would be like,
would
oh,
be-
well, this is just how it's done. But
Well,
we're
see,
just so.
I also think so. It's also different from like, so like kids, you know, have a different lifestyle than like adults
Yeah.
because they're like, all right, I really just have to go to school.
That's
Like,
it.
mom and dad's gonna feed me.
Yep.
I
get to
mean,
go
they
home.
might have a side job if they wanted some extra money, but it's not like anything serious. But like, I feel like our heads are wired like 30 different ways at the same time. It's like, all right, I gotta cook, I gotta do laundry, I gotta go wash the dog. I gotta
When is
like,
payday? When
is
it's like,
payday?
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I
oh
gotta
god,
work.
the tire on my left side is like getting down to the little ribbon.
Right,
It says
right.
it's about to, I need to replace it. Shit, how long do I have? How many times can I drive to work and back with that
Exactly, yeah.
little that tire like that?
So it's hard to just focus.
I need an oil change. Shit, the light bulb's out in the bathroom. I gotta change that. And the kid's just like, wow, I don't know what do I want to watch on YouTube today?
That is true. There's a lot of complications and complexities when it comes to adult life.
Right,
so,
right.
I can see you be in the middle of your online class and something just pops up in your head like, I
like,
need
I
to
feel-
work on this other thing that's way over
right over there.
here.
Yeah, and then man,
That's gonna be the future, right?
I mean, the kids
I
are the
think-
future, and
Yeah,
well, I mean, and that was.
Do you guys think? I mean,
I
do you guys
read- I
think that
was
that's a good?
reading an article today about AI and the future of AI, and
Oh,
so the
AI is
future of AI
crazy.
it leads to the future of our.
Do you think there might be
Of
AI
hu-
teachers, like teachers that are teaching your kids?
there honestly might.
Well, I mean,
That-
like it
that
goes
would
back
be-
to what we were saying. Learning centers being on a computer can compute things and navigate things a lot faster than a human can. And
Right, because they can do it damn near perfect.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's all like my friend. I don't know if he works with AI, but like the whole like thing is like with the AI is it's just like they fail so many times, but they like how you learn things from like failure.
Yeah.
So what the AI does, it just fails and like I forgot what he said, but like so many times until it figures out like this is how I do this,
Right.
and then it just keeps going, but it can do it at a faster rate than obviously than we can. So that's how it can just perfect everything and just have this like combination of like this is how you do this now, and AI is fucking ridiculous. Like
Well,
It's
That
it's
was-
getting to the point. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that was like the article I read today about AI and the future of humanity and will it take over a bunch of jobs?
That's what I was
And
about
it
to
That's
kind of
gonna-
go.
yeah.
Do you think it's going to be like, okay, it's just going to take over jobs and it's, we're going to have like, robot maids or whatever? Or do you think it's going to go full Terminator?
I don't know if we can in say in which direction it could go. I mean, like I know when
I feel like Terminator.
I'm gonna.
Straight
I
to the
feel,
bad.
I just feel like
Well, I mean, if you have that,
it's
that
going to be like
view-
40 years from now and I'm going to see Arnold Schwarzenegger and I'm like, why are you, didn't you die 10 years ago? Why are you
Android.
here?
We're
And he's
back
like,
to
I'm the
stop.
Terminator. The movie was a documentary and you thought it was a movie and I'm here to kill the humans. And I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, to be fair, as like a human race in like general, we're not the best on this planet right
Yeah,
now.
I think
So
yeah.
We're
you're right.
actually better than we ever have been. If you listen to Steven Pinker,
really,
yeah, he has a lot of good points about how I mean, if we can, and this was another thing that he said that richer countries can focus more on like environment and
Mhm.
pollution because we're richer and we're not worried about being hungry all the time. So if you're hungry all the time, what are you thinking about? You're not thinking about. I'm gonna put this plastic on the ground and some fish is gonna die.
Die,
because,
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't care. My
That's-
kids
that's
are
true. Yeah,
starving.
like, I need to
but
provide.
here in
That's-
America, we're like, oh my God, we dropped a plastic. I mean, and listen, I love recycling.
Our
No,
I
yeah.
get it, or
It's our
pollu-
priorities are different.
Yes, our priorities are different because we're richer. So the more money you have, the more conscientious you can be about things like
That's
that.
right.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
But we have less wars. We have less starvation than we've ever had. We have actually even third world countries are coming up faster than they ever have before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are coming out of poverty at a rate that is.
I did hear that third world countries are starting to like, they're just
Oh, you
starting
should.
to kind
if
of.
you do the research on it, they are.
Yeah.
They're bringing a lot of people out of poverty.
That's good.
Yeah, the
Fantastic,
world
yeah.
is. We are addicted to doom and gloom.
Well, that's
Is-
true.
so
but
is
really
climate
and
change-
truly,
Is climate change like they're like trying to hold on to something dark? They're like, no, but
They-
the Earth is gonna
you have to
die though.
You have to. If you don't, then you lose your audience.
Like you can't be happy. The Earth's gonna die.
That's right.
Be sad.
But and I'm not saying that because I don't think people should take care of the earth. Like, listen, we live here. Of course,
Right.
we should take
Yeah.
care of
Right,
it.
right.
But if you stop the doom and gloom, then you stop your audience, and you stop your rating, and you stop the drama.
Oh, yeah.
And when you
Drama, so.
stop the drama, you don't get the attention. You don't get the outrage. And I think that's really like, let's push past the outrage. Let's look at each other and see where we can help each other and see where we can help figure things out for plastic and pollution and things like that. And let's be logical because, people are in some bad situations and that's the last thing on their mind.
For real.
Yeah, you're right.
But
They're not
I mean,
thinking
like
about-
I said, if you look up Steven Pinker, he's got a lot of great research on
Steven
how
Pinker.
good humanity has actually become.
Well, it's good to it's
Yeah.
good to actually hear like that the future. Well, now it's actually brighter. Like good things are happening. You know,
Right.
like
Oh,
you
yeah.
only hear
Because you only hear the bad
yeah,
stuff.
like the news, man. It's like they never are like, hey, things are great around here.
Well,
Life is awesome.
Life is
It's
great.
like, hey, no, the Dow dropped 40 points a day. There's been 40 school shootings in the last hour. And it's just like constant shit, man. You're like, God damn, can't something nice
like I
happen?
said, I think you have to look at it like they're doing this because they know that this is what gets attention. I mean, a negative comment on Facebook gets more attention than the
Than
positive,
the positive
one.
comments. Yeah.
And if you got a negative comment, say on a podcast or whatever,
Yeah.
what are you going to worry about more? You're worried about
About the
that one
negative.
negative comment.
versus all the positives.
Yeah, and so I think that's really we're addicted to this the
Negativity.
negativity. We're like, oh, we're not perfect, we're not good
I
enough.
wonder why that is though. Like, why are we so?
I'm gonna sound crazy here, but Alex Jones once said it's so much easier to reach the evil than it is to reach the good.
Well,
And I think that maybe that's true in the negative sense too. It's just the ego.
Okay.
You
Well,
have to
there's the
separate the
thing-
being from the ego. Your
Yeah.
ego is always going to go to the bad because it wants you to survive.
there's the thing. I'm gonna
Nah.
look it up so I don't get it wrong. But
That's probably the better idea than
Right.
just like randomly quoting people. Over
okay,
here.
so you're talking about that, like the evil and the good, right?
Yeah, but your dad's a preacher, right?
He is a preacher. Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
some
up in
people claim.
Kennesaw.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh
I'm
no, go
sorry,
ahead. Go
buddy.
ahead. Go ahead.
Just the smile and the frown thing, right? You're talking about the evil. It takes 26 months. 26. Well, no, this is actually the opposite. But kind of going with that, it says it takes 26 muscles to smile and 62 to frown. But it's weird. It takes less muscles to smile, right, than it does to frown. So like, but why? Again, why do people mostly frown?
I don't know. But
Like I saw a lady in the back of me, like coming over to your house today, and this lady, like she had resting bitch face, man.
she cannot.
was-
help
She can't help
that.
that.
I mean, dude, but like she was
can't-
just
Some people are like that's their face, man.
I just was
But
like,
when
God
you-
damn, like what happened to that lady? Did her husband just die or something? Like, what is going on? She was like riding my ass, and I was like, man, she's just angry at the world right now. But you were talking about, I mean, speaking of good, if your dad's a preacher, man.
Yeah, man. Holistic Life Ministries, our church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's it located at?
It's it's in Kennesaw. I forget the road name, but it's if you're ever in Kennesaw,
Yeah.
there's a Bank of America on the corner. You just turn right there, and it's just like boom, it's right there. It's literally like 5 minutes from my house.
Nice.
But yeah, he's literally like a superhero, dog. Like a straight up like he literally does everything, and like he's a really chill preacher.
Yeah.
He's caught up with modern times. He's not like oh, I'm gonna pray the gay away type of shenanigans.
Yeah, so he's
Like,
trying to
like
kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, Megan? Like adapt, right?
right,
He's more of a
yeah,
progressive.
a more
Progressive,
progressive,
right.
yeah, like now like certain things like from the Bible, he's kind of, I wouldn't say strict on, but he holds to, but for the most part it's like he understands
Yeah.
the world
He's
a little bit
it's like
better
life's different than it was.
back then,
Yeah.
honestly. So yeah, but he's just honestly just a fantastic person.
You guys
like,
have a pretty good pretty big congregation.
oh yeah, it's a pretty decent size. We actually share it with another church.
Oh, that's cool. So how
yeah.
does that work, man? If you have two churches, it's
So-
just two. Like, was one church something happened to it, and they came to your church, or like how did that
so
work?
it was crazy. So like my dad started the church in our basement.
Really?
Like it was a basement church. We had like 5 people that would come every Sunday, and we started off there, and then we moved into my dad's really good friend had like not like a rec hall. Yeah, I guess you could call it like a rec hall. He had like a rec hall inside his business. He was like,
Yeah.
"No, come to your church over here." So then we went there, and it started growing. And then there were some like issues with like how many people can be there and stuff. So we had to like
fire
fire
probably,
marshal and
yeah,
all
fire
that
marshal,
stuff,
yeah,
right? And so we're just like, dang, like and we're like, let's just go back to the basement, whatever. And then like my dad met one of the pastors, and he was just like, no, how about y'all just come to our church and
Yeah.
y'all have service at this time, we'll have service at this time, call it a day.
Oh, cool.
And it was just like, cool, like let's rock with
Heck
it.
yeah, man.
Yeah, Emmanuel Temple, that's the building, and the other church.
Right.
But yeah, so we have service around 2 o'clock. They have service, I think, around like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. My wife's she's been wanting me to go to church, and she asks me every Sunday morning. She's like, "You going to church?"
You go to church.
And I feel horrible, dude. Like, but like, it's either one Sunday I'm mowing the grass, or I just am like, I don't know. I feel awful, but I just can't get out of bed.
Bro,
And
just
I need to
get out
do
of-
it, man. Like I do. I really
good
do.
to have, man.
And I think I'm gonna go this Sunday. Now that I feel like talking to you and you talking about it, I
Mhm.
feel like maybe that's like
motivation
maybe
to
it's
like,
like,
yeah,
you know what?
I'm gonna do it.
It could be worse, right?
It really could.
Yeah, my life could be a lot worse. Like, I think sleeping in on Sunday I could probably go out without that,
Right.
So, but yeah, we go to a really cool church, and the pastor's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have this thing called like, what is it? It's steak and scripture.
Steak and scripture.
So they grill steaks, right?
What?
And then they read scripture, and you're like eating
So you
steak,
eating steak.
and then they read scripture afterwards.
I don't know what kind of church this is.
I know, but I like it.
I heard it, and I was
I
like, "What is this?"
It's like, sign me up, please.
Steak and scripture. I was like,
I have
"Is that a
no-
mistake? Is that like a
Y'all, I
typo?"
don't have any clue what y'all are talking about. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and I'm just like,
He was like,
Well, how
yes. How was that?
like yeah? So like, I was raised Baptist, and that's
Mhm.
pretty much what I was. What about you?
I was raised Baptist, but now we're non-denominational.
Right. So
Yeah.
like, but like, I have a friend who's Jehovah's Witness, and like, it just sounds a lot different. But like, people who don't know about it,
they
like,
think it's a cult.
well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
well, I mean,
I mean,
maybe they do, but like, you should. Why don't you let I want to
Yeah, give us
know?
some insight,
like,
honestly.
I've talked to you a little bit about
Well,
it.
I
but
don't like you. Have
You don't
to,
have to if you don't want
No, I
to.
don't mind talking about it. I just don't want to misrepresent because it's been a really long time since I've actually been inside of a Kingdom Hall.
Gotcha.
So
Um,
that's like be your church.
Their buildings are called Kingdom Halls. They're
Kingdom
not
halls.
churches. They're Kingdom Halls.
Right.
Mhm.
And they don't have a preacher. You have a different brother come up prepare a sermon every Sunday. So you have a different person in the congregation.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, it's a different brother
See, that's
every.
kind of cool though. It's like everybody gets
it.
involved.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. You have to be.
Sounds cool as you think.
You have You have to be an elder first before you can.
Okay.
So they
So it's
do.
not like-
Yeah, not everybody, but
Like
you have
you-
to be
like a-
spiritually strong. Like you
right.
have to be.
Correct. Okay.
They have elders and they have ministerial servants, and so they have people. So you have to prove basically that you're responsible and that you're gonna uphold religious standards before they're gonna let you be like a leader of the flock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you have to
But
be like an upstanding citizen type of deal,
Yeah.
Corey, right?
Yeah, you
within
have to
the
be.
within the
Of
king-
course. I mean, you don't want to, and this is something that was always ingrained in me. You don't want to reflect badly on Jehovah's people. So you don't,
That
you
makes
don't
sense.
step out of line, basically.
Right.
And it is I think my parents,
Did they push it? Did they push that hard on you?
my dad is extremely strict when
Yeah.
it comes to the witness stuff. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier.
We did,
Part
yeah.
of why I
Mhm.
was kicked out, but my dad's got his family takes a little bit further than I think most Jehovah's Witnesses do. But the problem you get into is that it's such a big organization now that some people go astray and they have some weird views that like the whole like if you so they have a governing body that lives in New York, and that's where they get all of their publications and everything from.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have congregations that spouted out from that. And some of these congregations have some weird beliefs that didn't even come from.
From like
people.
the source.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's so hard about it. Like if you're the preacher of your own church, you know what's going on in your congregation most of the time. They'll come
Right.
to you and they'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, so you got.
But
get
if you've
one point of
got-
contact.
So
type
say
deal.
I've got like 1,000 congregations, and this one down here, they've started telling girls they can't wear tampons because that's like putting a penis in your vagina. No.
It's like we did not
You're like,
say
how
that.
do you govern that shit?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I think they sometimes have a hard time with that. Like they do send people out to
Mhm.
try to correct stuff like that, but sometimes they don't catch it. But and this is my thing. There are good and there are bad people at every church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
no
know.
matter
Yeah.
what denomination you
Oh,
are.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the thing about the church. The church brings in the most empathetic people because they want to help people, and they, they feel people's pain, and they're just for the Lord. I know a lot of people like that, and I think
Right.
they're beautiful people. But then you got the narcissist,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
narcissists
Yeah.
feed
Oh,
off
yeah.
of those people, and they take advantage of those people. And the church is the perfect place
To do it. Yeah.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, it's like no one wants to think, oh, you're
Oh yeah.
that you're a bad person. Like they're like, oh, well, you come to.
There's a lot of
Worship and
power. I
stuff.
think there's a lot of power in the church.
There is.
I mean,
yeah,
I think
there
you
is,
can
yeah.
get. I mean,
There's a
when-
movie called the. Oh my God, the Gemstones. It's not a movie. It's a show. I'm sorry. It's about this evangelist family, and it's got like John Candy and Adam Devine, I think his name is, and then guy from Eastbound and Down. The
Burton.
no, I can't remember what his freaking name is. Anyways, it's about an evangelist family, and they're basically just doing it for the money.
Yeah. I don't
So-
know that. You don't make any money with the witnesses. They don't. They.
Do they not have like a
They have a
offering
collection
thing?
box.
Yeah.
That you can put in whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
nobody.
But that's not their main goal.
That's not their main goal.
Mhm.
And the thing about and you see them when they go door to door. And I would just encourage people just to be nice. Please don't bring a gun to the door. That has
Yeah,
happened to us before.
that's
That's a little bit too much. Like,
Somebody
just-
has. They
I'll
brought a
bring a-
shotgun out onto the porch and was like, "You guys are gonna have to get off of my property before I shoot you."
Now listen, I'll bring a gun to the door if it's a Bell South person or like an AT&T person. But if it's like a Jehovah's witness, I'm not gonna do that because they're just trying to.
Just
They're
either
trying to
hide.
spread-
Like
I know, just
hide.
either hide or just-
pretend like you're not there. Or if you go to the door, just be like, "Hey, I'm not interested."
Yeah, like that's all you have to
Thanks."
do though. Like,
But
some
when
people
I
they
still
take it that extra step.
Oh yeah, but I don't like when the witnesses come here. I talk to them because a lot of times I know who they are because I
Mhm.
grew up there. But like even when the Mormons come by, I'm like, "Hey guys, I don't believe what you're selling me, but I will give you a water. I will give you a snack. I will give you what you can come in my house and cool down if you want to. I don't hold your, I listen. You gotta have a lot of balls to go to door
what
to
it should be
door.
about.
Yeah,
And
that's
it is
true.
really scary because you're holding a Bible and you're like, "These are my
Yeah,
beliefs."
you really gotta
Yeah.
believe, man.
And you go as a kid, and your parents drag you around like, "Oh my God, I gotta wear my Sunday clothes on
On
Wednesday."
Wednesday.
You're
And
like
he
dressed up,
just-
and then everybody's like, what are you doing here?
Now,
Why are you
question:
at my door?
what is that like conversion rate? Do you know?
I don't
like,
know what the conversion rate is. I know that there are more women than men that convert.
Really?
Really?
It's more women. I know a lot of women that have a hard time finding men because they're like, you need to marry within the religion.
And there's just not enough.
There's just not enough
There's
men.
just not enough
Oh.
men.
And so
That is
that-
one thing I think I've ever heard.
There's not
ain't
a
enough
lot.
men.
There's a lot of women that convert and their husbands don't.
So you're telling
Um,
me instead of going to the club, I should become a Jehovah's Witness? That's what you're telling me right now. Like,
You can go to a convention. Some of them girls
You know
are
what?
beautiful.
Hey,
I tell you what.
At least you know that you're probably it's probably a good chance that they're a good person.
This
Oh,
is
a
true.
lot,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of those women are really good. A lot of those people are really good. Like
That's
I said,
funny.
it's not. I think it's just it is hard to get used to because it's pretty strict. I mean, even I brought me and Matt don't celebrate holidays. We don't celebrate birthdays. We don't
Mm-hmm.
we don't do a lot of secular stuff that other Christians do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is hard for people, especially because people get emotionally attached to holidays and birthdays
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Especially
attached.
women. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it is hard for me too because Matt's parents will buy gifts for the girls, like for birthdays and
Birthdays
Christmas and stuff.
Right.
And the joy that kids get out of that. But I never wanted to lie to the kids about Santa or anything like that
No,
because
that's
I
good,
never
though. Yeah,
felt
yeah.
like that was necessary. But
Right.
I'm not. I'm pretty open about the things. It's not a secret what goes on at the Kingdom Hall. They believe in Jesus. They believe in
Mhm.
baptism. They're just more strict than most other
Most other
religions.
religions. That's fair.
And there is some stuff that I don't agree with, but there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with, and so I'm not the authority on that. But
Right.
I'm not religious, but I definitely believe in God and Jesus.
Mhm.
And that's something that I've had plenty of conversations about. But I've just been run out of plenty of churches, from the Baptist to the Jehovah's
To
Witness.
Jehovah,
And
yeah.
my grandma used to be a Catholic, so
Oh, you had it all.
I've had it all.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
you got a little flavor of all of it.
I know.
But you know what though? That proves that even though it doesn't matter what denomination you are, you can still be a good person.
Oh, agree.
You know what I
Yeah,
I
mean?
agree
yeah.
that. But and I believe in spirituality too because, and I know I've had these conversations over and over again. I've listened to Jordan B. Peterson, and I like a lot of what he has to say, and a lot of his stuff a lot of his psychological stuff. He talks about, back in the 1930s, Friedrich Nietzsche said God is dead. And
I
that
remember
was
that.
why we were going to have all of those mass atrocities from the Nazis to the Soviet to Mao's China to Cambodia. And we did.
Mhm.
People turned to government as an ideology. They turned away from God and spiritualism. And I'm not saying you have to have God to be a good person. I just don't think that you should make certain things the ideal. But that really, I think, not having God and spirituality gives you a purpose, and I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They
No,
don't
yeah,
have
no,
a purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
It kind of helps you guide too. Like, it's kind of like you think like some choice comes up to you, right? And it's like a more choice. And you're like, I feel like it may help you make the right decision if you are a godly person.
Well, I think too, if you think about it like this, and that's one thing that I really appreciate about the witnesses is they're all different colors, they're all different backgrounds, they're all different types of people.
Right.
There's not just like the First African American church of whatever, or a white Baptist church, or
Oh,
the
yeah.
Hispanic
Yeah,
church.
yeah.
It's all
It's
like
literally
it's
a melting
everybody.
pot of just everybody.
And that was how I grew up. And so when I grew up, my parents got a divorce. The first people there for my dad were the African American sisters in the congregation, and they were there with food. They were there with love. They invited us to their house. They were the ones that helped us out the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I always really loved and appreciated them. And that's something that I wish that more people did, because they don't look at anything except for you're my brother and sister. And I think maybe spirituality gives you that we're all intrinsically valuable to God.
Right.
So I
right.
shouldn't treat you with disrespect, and I
Right,
shouldn't
right.
treat Matt with disrespect, and I should
Right.
love you both, because
You're
we're
equal.
connected.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even
yeah.
if we don't feel connected, we are connected, whether our ideas are the same or they're different. I'm just as connected to you as I am to Matt.
Mhm.
We're
And
equal.
That's right. Under
Yeah.
under God, if you believe the Bible that we came from Adam and Eve and all that stuff, here we are,
That's
Mhm.
right.
millions of years later or thousands of years later,
Right.
whatever story you believe. Here we are, and how far back do we have to go to say, we are really brothers and sisters?
Sisters, right? Like
That's true.
And in God, why can't we love each other? Even if and there are personality differences for a reason. I mean, I think there are people on the left and there are people on the right, so that we can try to come to the middle.
exactly.
But that's why
Yeah.
we should sit down and we should talk and,
Talk about
we
it and
should love
everything.
each other. And
That's
Yeah.
like,
right. Have
I
open
understand.
discussions about
That's
it.
right.
Right.
I mean, and I think maybe, hopefully, in forums like this, we could do that more because
Right. That's why I
there's a-
like it, because you can talk about it and we can understand and we can learn about a different religion,
Mhm.
and you don't have someone saying, well, that's not your religion, you shouldn't, why are you even worried
Yeah.
about that? It's all, that's what's great about stuff
Yeah,
Well, I
like
think
this.
it's pretty egotistical to tell people that they're
Yeah.
wrong.
The wrong. I know
Right.
it's like my religion is right.
Yeah.
Your religion is
Yeah.
wrong. Like
But-
I hate that.
And
It's
that was something really beautiful that was on a program, and the lady said, they're all just branches from the same tree.
exactly.
That's
That's
a
literally
good saying.
like God. All of every same God most of the times, and it's just like unless you're like praying to some other deity.
Right. And a
that,
lot of
like,
the
but-
the
yeah.
stories, like the legends and stuff, a lot of them are similar.
They're similar. Like yeah,
And they all teach us the same things. They all have the
like
same.
the core are
Yeah, they
usually
have the core.
That's true.
right.
The core values are all there. I mean, basically, it is treat others the way you want to be treated.
Right.
Do you want love and respect and acceptance? Of course you do. Of course I do. And that's why I said, I'm happy to have us y'all here.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel connected.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people, that goes back to AI and technology. I think a lot of people feel disconnected and
yeah.
purposeless. And if you go to a church or you go to a club or you find people that have a common ground with you and you can feel love and connectedness, I think that's really important.
I think that's an awesome note to end on.
Yeah.
Do you know how to?
You know what? All you folks back there at home,
Oh, I forgot that was even the thing.
I'm gonna give.
You're on that one over
Oh,
there.
You're on
I'm
that
sitting-
one. So I'm gonna give you guys a little inspirational quote. And if y'all have anything else to say, let me know. But if not, I'm gonna just throw out an inspirational quote and tell.
Throw it out.
I'm
Throw
just
it
gonna
out
sling
there.
it out there, man. Don't let yesterday take over today. You know what I mean?
I can live by
Live
that.
for today,
Right.
right? Something happened yesterday. Just let it be in exactly what it is, the past.
Pass.
And Jalen,
Completely.
dude, I want to say thank you so much. Me and Megan and
No,
Matt,
thank you guys for having
dude,
me.
we've had a
Yes.
blast
So much
talking to you.
fun.
Yo, this is great.
This is
Like-
awesome. We'll definitely have you on
Please
again,
come
man.
back
Please.
to our
No, I
house.
definitely just let me know. I'll be here. This
So,
was fun.
Well,
dude,
I'm ready for y'all to come back and do a review of the El Camino thing because I want to
oh
see
my
how
God, that's
gonna
gonna be
be
so much
great.
funny.
be.
Look out for movie reviews at Fogwater Studios, El Camino. Jalen's gonna be there. I'll
I
be
will be there.
there. Megan's gonna be there. She won't have a choice because it's gonna be at her house.
Exactly.
Mixmaster Chef will be there as well. So look out for it. And everybody out there in video or audio land, whatever you may be listening to, have a great day or night whenever you're listening to it, because I don't know when you're gonna be listening. This could be 2:00 in the morning, or it could be at work while you're driving to work at 5:30 a.m. like me. But yeah, again, thank you, dude.
No, thank you guys.
All right, sweet man, this was awesome.